Okay, we are back. I had to switch phones because the other one died. It should have lasted a lot longer, but I had replaced the battery and the screen in this 14 Pro Max with aftermarket, and it just doesn't seem to, the aftermarket battery doesn't last as long, plus the phone doesn't recognize it. Anyway, have that plugged in to charge. Hopefully that will get a good charge off of there. Trying to think, do I have a USB-C to Apple Lightning in the car? Actually, I think I have it in the front trunk. Let me double check. Yes. This way I can charge it off the Anchor. Should be a lot faster charging. Then off of a USB-A port here. Let's see what that is going at. Yeah, it looks like that's doing 27 kilowatts. Not too bad. That should charge the phone up pretty quickly. Anyway, we're going to continue our trip here on the different camera. And we'll go on from here. We got the destination set. It should turn left and go out this parking lot, continue around without any intervention. So we'll put it into drive. We'll wait until we have the full self-driving option there. It's now there. Engage. We're waiting. It's going to. I'll let it go and do what it wants to do. It wants to go over here, but there's no place for it to go. Like I say, it should know these parking lots. Why it doesn't, I don't know. So it's going to circle the parking lot around all the pumps. And don't go to the Wendy's drive-thru. It looked like it was going to go to the drive-thru. I don't know why. Now, naturally, on the map, it doesn't know anything about this parking lot. So it's like nothing in this parking lot is mapped. So it is figuring out on its own. It has nothing here. Well, yeah, there is a little bit there, but not that much data. So here at the stop sign, it could go, but it's hesitated, and now it can't. Now it can. So we should have 45% battery by the time we reach my destination in 1 hour. Now this is going to be a fun one because we're going to be getting into San Antonio a lot more traffic than the standard outskirts here. So let's see just how well the car handles that. And just to let you know, here at the Valero, where the supercharger is, it is currently $2.89 a gallon for gas. I just got a notification through Uber that somebody tipped. Close the app and reopen it for it to show up. There we go. Yeah, wow, $3 tip, thank you. And that was for a 11-mile drive. You know, the tip's nice. I appreciate it. Years ago, the average tip used to be between $5 and $10 on the short trips. But now, if they do tip, I'm only seeing $1 to $3. I'm not sure why. Are people having that much trouble financially now? To give you an update on the stats here, we just got through charging here. I grabbed a little snack to drink, or a snack to eat while we're there. We have currently, today, done 338 miles, and 337 of that all on full self-driving. That's still 100% self-driving. No real interventions, except for at the superchargers, you know, where it doesn't know where the damn chargers are in the parking lot. I did have that one time when I had to hit the accelerator to get past the semi-truck. But I think I understand why it does that. And I think it's because I was waiting for the car in front to clear enough where I could safely, completely pass and get over. Just did a very nice job merging in. I mean, I expected to, and you know, I will say that in this latest version, the interstate's a lot smoother. Now, see, right now it's not accelerating a lot to pass this vehicle, but it is kind of like pausing a little bit. But now that it's clear, it's going to go ahead and pass. So it's like when it's passing a vehicle, it wants to make sure it can make it all the way pass and get over before it actually commits to the pass. It's not getting over, it's continuing to stay in this lane to pass these other slower vehicles. And now it's immediately getting out of the lane. So it's not hanging out in the passing lane like it used to. So a lot better feeling on trips. This makes me a lot more comfortable on long road trips. It seems to react to things in the road more. I do find it tends to follow the lead vehicle. And some people have mentioned that, you know, if this car here, if he pulls over to the side of the road, it will start to pull over to the side of the road as well. In a way, it's kind of good. Maybe, you know, the car in front is trying to avoid something in the road, so the car follows his lead, and once it realizes there's nothing to avoid, it keeps going. That's a possibility. We do that naturally when driving. We have a tendency of mirroring the person in front. Which kind of helps, especially with bumps in the road and stuff, potholes. You know, if I see a guy swerve up front, I know he's swerving something, so I tend to start to followed to be ready. Now, I have seen a couple of road kills that I'm not sure the car is avoiding or trying to avoid. I just take over naturally when I see that. It'll be nice once the car gets going to be able to handle that. Now, granted, some roadkill, it can see that it's not something moving, and it can see that it's not high enough off the ground, and we got another scammer. Sorry about this. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
This is Amber from FSD Benefits. How are you?
I am fine.
This call is regarding your Medicare, as you already have Medicare Part C and B votes, right?
Yes.
That's all from my side. Now I'm just going to transfer this call to my senior supervisor, and he will assist you further regarding your additional benefits.
Okay.
The number you have dialed is not in service.
See, the scammer system is not always working.
Goodbye.
I get that quite a bit. They just... These automated systems, and they pass it on to somebody else. Not always working. Constant scamming. But anyway, like I was saying, some roadkill, depending on what it is, like a small animal, what have you, the car can technically straddle it. It knows what the clearance is on the bottom of the car, how high it is. So do you straddle it or do you go around it? Which is the safest option to take? Do you want to make any contact? Personally, I prefer to go around and avoid it. But I also understand using pure vision, it is very hard for the car to distinguish that because you can see the pavement here. It's not a perfect uniform color. So it has to figure out, is that debris or is that just black marking on the road? In that case, it was debris, but it could have been a black streak on the road or something, or a tar spot on the road that's black and it could be completely flat. Using some type of LiDAR or 4D radar would be able to confirm those things. Now, from what I understand, the newer Model 4 or Model Y has a 4D radar. It may not use that exclusively, but it could give them a lot more data. And if anything, it can help confirm what the cameras are seeing. If it sees something that has question, it can just use that radar to get more data. We don't do that as humans, but we also have the ability to tell depth of field because we have two eyes. Now, yes, the car is using 8 cameras all around. We do have 3 cameras here, and just like the iPhone 16, where it can use 2 of its cameras, the wide and the narrow, or the main and the wide, to do a stereoscopic, a VR style view of something to tell depth of field. It can do the same thing in the Tesla if they wanted to, and just tell the difference. And you can look at something, and that's part of the calibration. It can tell by the difference in the pixels between each image from each camera, if this is a item risen higher to the ground or what have you. Similar to what we do naturally. radar. Okay, what are they actually going to use that for? Are we going to all have to go to radar? On another note, Elon has mentioned about the older hardware may need to be upgraded to run the newer full self-driving software. There are so many people out there who are so quick to say, oh, that can't be done because it's totally different connections, the power connections, the board won't fit. Well, the thing is, they're not saying to use the same board. They're saying they're going to have to design a new board that will give the same functionality hardware, but use the existing camera and the existing connections and the existing power. So it would be like a light version of hardware 4, but still give you the processing and the space to be able to handle the bigger software. So it won't be the exact same board. It'll be an upgraded, different board using the existing connections, and it should fit just fine. I've been in the computer IT field since the 70s. Yeah, that is possible. That can be done. I have worked on a lot of equipment where they've had upgrade boards. And I've also had times when I was tasked with that project to make an update board to emulate something else, to make something work, because the other item is no longer needed or no longer supported. And instead of throwing away everything, we just want to upgrade what we upgrade to be able to make it still function. So it is possible. May still never be 100% the same as the newer hardware, as the hardware keeps, but at least it can still run the same version of the software. And hopefully it won't be too sluggish. Handle it. Only 40 miles or 40 minutes away from my destination. And honestly, I enjoyed it, the car, especially through these areas. I do get kind of anxious, mainly because I spend so much time not in heavy city traffic. The Brownsville, Harlingen, McAllen area, it has no traffic compared to Austin, Chicago, DC. It doesn't have in Louisiana, traffic is not that bad there. The Baton Rouge, it gets kind of bad. New Orleans, so-so. So it's not like I drive through that every day and have to deal with it. But it's also nice with Uber and Lyft, using. When I'm on the island, that's kind of simple. Everything's on one road. There's no extra road. Very straightforward. This version is doing a lot better of finding the parking lots, getting in and out. The previous version, it could not find the hotel, the parking lot. entrance. It always kept missing it. The version before that, it had no problem. This version here has no problem. Sometimes we take a step back. But when I'm not on the island, I don't know where I'm. These neighborhoods I've never seen, I've never been to, and it's nice to let the car drive. I don't have to try to figure out which roads where, what turns coming up. I'm not distracted by staring at my phone trying to follow some GPS coordinates from Uber that may not be correct. You know, I just let the car do it, and it takes a lot of stress off of you, makes it more relaxing. Some of the neighborhoods, oh man, I've seen some bad roads in my life, but they're in the Brownsville area and some places in Harlingen. They are really bad. And I think a lot of it has to do with is they're using a lot of asphalt for the roads, and it gets so hot here in the summer times. I've seen temperatures up to 118 degrees. And with these heavy trucks going back and forth from Mexico and everywhere else, you get areas of asphalt that are kind of caved in or pushed up when it's really hot. And it just makes potholes and stuff a lot worse and quicker. I want to see where my phone is at here on charging. It's at 30%. Try to send those videos to my laptop. Yeah, see, right now it's passing these semi-trucks smoothly without braking or staying behind them. But I also have an opening where I can get in front of them easily. So I kind of think that's what it was probably doing. We're We're coming up with a lot of road spray up here. I always hate that. That just pulls up so much dirt off the road and makes the windshield harder to clean, the road harder to see as well. This is where I'm kind of expecting the full self-driving to give me a degradation notice, at least. Previous version would have already been, telling me that full self-driving is now degraded due to weather. So far, this one's not doing it, especially when the windshield wiper's on high. But no, this is handling it just fine. Windshield wipers could slow down by now. Usually if I want to force them to slow down, I can just tap it to do a single wipe, and that kind of resets that, but I'm trying to see if it will slow down on its own here. I'm not having my car ride the yellow line or anything. When I first got this version, it did that every couple of times, but that same day I did a camera recalibration and it hasn't done it since. Which is funny because it would visualize it, so it can see where the lines were, but it was still riding the line. And now we have fairly dry pavement. We're now down at 58 degrees, so the temperature has been dropping. I have 20 miles to go, 129 miles of range. I look at the consumption. I'm using 1.7 miles less than the trip projected. I should have 104 miles of range when I get to my destination. The car is trying to get out of the passing lane, but there's somebody there, and that Mustang started coming over. It did a good job of not getting over with that. Previous version would have almost kept going over more. So this did a good job. I was watching that Mustang, and we do have to take exit 139. One thing I have noticed using full self-driving all the time and driving close to 10,000 miles a month, driving people everywhere, I can barely tell you any of the names of any of the roads that I've been on. I don't even look at the road signs anymore. You know, I just tell the car to go to pick them up and drop them off. And I let the car do everything. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You know, we already have an issue of a lot of people not knowing where they live, not knowing their friends' phone numbers or knowing their own phone numbers. They just have it saved and they have to look it up. So, you know, having the car drive you everywhere, is that really good? You know, if something comes up and you have to give someone directions, you're going to have to look it up yourself, because I don't know what road it was. Kind of reminds me when I got directions from my mom. You know, it's like, oh, you just keep going down, and where the old oak tree used to be, make a right. What? I don't know where the oak tree used to be. Okay, it's coming a little hard stopping then, but there are cars and trucks behind me too. And that car almost hit that pickup truck behind me. He was trying to stop pretty hard. That's the thing I hate about the Austin or the San Antonio area, is the other drivers. I don't know why. Okay, it's signaling, but I don't think it's trying to. It shouldn't try to pass. It should stay in this road. Now that was a disengagement. It was trying to get over to pass this traffic, but it has to stay in this lane. So there was no place for it to pass. Unless it was going to take a different... Yeah, if it would have kept going, it would have had to take a different route. It might have been planning to do that for traffic, I don't know. But I went ahead and disengaged there for that. And I didn't have time to give a little note why I disengaged. But now, if it would have done that, it would have kept going and it would have rerouted. At least I hope it would have kept going and not try to sneak back into the traffic. Like I say, some input would be nice, like rerouting. Let us know. If going through downtown San Antonio on 35 would have been more efficient or faster. But, you know, like I said, I pulled this map up here. It's not really showing me any alternate routes. I do have my Starlink mini dish mounted in the car that I use, especially out there in the Brownsville area. Here in San Antonio, it kind of works, but there's too many bridges that I'm passing under. Too many buildings blocking the satellite. It gives it a little bit of issues. So it's hard to use it exclusively. In fact, my phone's not even connected to it right now. I don't know why. So if I connect to it, like right now we're going under a bridge. So if I look at the Starlink here, yeah, you can see there's some dropouts when going under different bridges and stuff. Right now it's pretty bad. And sometimes it takes a few seconds for everything to resync up once it gets signal again. Which for me is really a pain because it never fails. It's that time when I get the little dropout is when I get a ride request. Now we got traffic here merging. And it's like we're briefly on I-10, but then we get back onto 35 North. We are in standard mode, so the car should not be trying to pass people excessively and stuff. Now we should be looking for exit 572. And we do have cars with turn signals on, but it did not let them, well, it kind of gave them room, but they didn't take it. The car should be able to flash its headlight to let somebody know that they're letting them over. Of course, I really don't know if it actually does that or not. It would be a nice feature. Let's let the expedition in. There's 572. Yeah, it looks like 572 is the two right-hand lanes. So the car could stay in this lane. Doesn't have to fight to get over.
Unknown caller.
Really?
Hello, this is an important message from the Tax Relief Group. Our records indicate you may have delinquent tax debt. You could qualify for the Fresh Start program, which may significantly reduce or even eliminate your past due taxes. It only takes a few minutes to enroll and could potentially save you thousands.
Wow.
To speak with a tax resolution specialist, press 2. If you prefer to leave your tax debt unresolved and be added to our Do Not Call list, press 9.
I'm going to hit 2.
Please wait while your call
Because
is
I've gotten
connected.
4 calls from this same thing. Yeah. Perhaps that's not connecting. Will it try another number? Okay, so the car got over just fine. We also have other cars trying to merge in here. Will it let him in? It's trying to let him in, so it's letting him in. That's good. Let the Cadillac in. I think this lane merges. No. Oh, yeah, it does. So, yeah, it needs to get back. But it did it safely. I'll hang up on that call since their system is not working. You know, I haven't been up to Laredo, Texas in a long time. I wonder what it would be like to drive back from Austin or San Antonio to Laredo. I wonder if they got more superchargers in between here and Laredo. I know once you get to Laredo, there's nothing until McAllen, heading that direction. And there's really nothing to see there. Okay, it has room to accelerate and merge, so it's doing a good job. Now we're working our way over. This is kind of where my anxiety kicks in if all the vehicles crossing each other and having to work my way all the way across traffic with so many lanes of traffic to work its way over. You know, we're wanting to go Austin North, which would be one more lane over. Okay, it needs to get over. Go ahead and get over. It's getting over. Okay. A little bit late getting over, but with this traffic, it's okay. It got it. The pickup truck behind me was having a harder time. And I will say, you know, this does give me some stress. Even though the car is driving, I mean, I'm more relaxed knowing the car got me. But, you know, my current heart rate is 90. You know, other times it's like 110 when coming through here. But that's me. I guess we're going, 10 west. So it needs to try to get over one more lane. It has the gap, it's taking the gap, that's good. Here we come to a few more underpasses and tunnels. I have noticed this version does not like to turn on a road if there's a puddle on the road, on the island at least. It doesn't like puddles. I kind of understand that. You don't know if there's a pothole under it or something. But when it's going from the main road to the side road and that puddle is all across the road there, you have to do it anyway. And that comes from prior knowledge of the condition of the road there. Slowing down to 55. Now speeding up again. We're averaging 307 watt-hours a mile. It is 58 degrees out there, so most of that's being the car keeping the battery warm. Again, this is the older 2018.
Unknown caller.
Got another one here. And they hung up very quickly. This one here has the old inductive heating, which consumes more electricity. That seems to be the biggest issue people talk about. Oh, if it's cold, then you can't drive, you don't have no range. Yes and no. I mean, yeah, you do lose some range. I don't think it's as bad as most people say. I am shocked at the number of people who keep it really hot in the car. I like it cooler, 68. I've had customers get in the car and want me to crank it up to 90. And of course it doesn't go up that high, I just got to put it on high. And it does get hotter than that, but yeah, as far as the heating and cooling in the car, it doesn't show a temperature higher than 81. And I've also had people say, yeah, it's nice to own a Tesla, but you can't use the radio because it would kill your battery. I don't know where they get that from. I usually, is listening to my music when I'm driving. I'm not doing it now because I don't want the copyright strikes. My favorite music right now is Odekin. I love a lot of their music, and I recommend them. Matter of fact, give you a little snippet here, maybe 30 seconds worth. This is Legend. Very unique sound. But yeah, that's Odekin. They're a Siberian tribal folk music. Very unique sound. And when you read the English translations to the words of the songs, they're all good songs. Nothing obscene or anything like that. They do sing in their native language, which only about 400 people in the world speak. So it's a dying language. And it's a Siberian tribe, native tribe. Their main source of income was wild bee honey that they farm on their native lands. If you check out their YouTube channel, you'll see some of that. Now we're 4 miles away from this exit. Previous version always had a problem with this exit. I don't know why. Let's just see if this one can get it this time. There wasn't a navigation update. So nav data hasn't really changed since my previous drive around here. But I'm just kind of wondering if, the FSD software, if it can handle that better. It's not like it's reading the signs or anything. It just needs to be able to get over in time to get to that exit. And I'm going to drop it down a little bit. With these roads being a little slick, I don't want to be going too fast. I am coming up to time when I might need new tires again. I am on my 4th set of tires in 321,000 miles. I am currently using some Firestones from Discount Tires. All 4 cost me $1,200. Before that, I was using some Road Huggers. All 4 was running about $700, but I had to change those more frequently, and they're a little noisier. So these current ones are a little bit quieter. This car is not a quiet car to begin with. Like I say, it is an older 2018. The car is doing a good job slowing down for all this traffic. We're 1.5 miles away and it's going to the far outside lane. I personally would be getting over, but let's see if the car can do it. That's me. I'm an old man and I don't, sometimes it's hard to get over in all this traffic. But with my exit coming up, but let's see what the car does. Because the traffic is getting more bumper to bumper, so it's going to be harder to get over here. We're down to 1 mile. And it's starting to work its way over. That's kind of good. But can it get all the way over? Okay, we're at 0.7 miles. Let's see if we can find another opening. It's finding another opening. It's okay, it's doing it. Okay, I'm sorry for I'm sorry for questioning you. My car's name is Serenity. I'm sorry for questioning you. You're doing a good job. Might want to look for another opening here in a second. We're half a mile away. We do have more traffic merging in over here. So it might be best to look for an opening after the merge. Well, it's signaling now. Because there's the exit up ahead. And we're 0.3 miles away from the exit. Can it? Okay, it's getting over. It's doing it. That is very good. Now, if it can get over one more time, it can do that too. Both of these are exiting, so. I have to say that's very smooth. Is it ready to be completely driverless? Is it ready to be unsupervised? Not quite, but it is a fine line. It is very, very, very close. Okay, we're coming up to a lot of traffic up here. This surprised me. I'm glad I made this little trip here. It is doing a wonderful job. It's getting all the way over. It's doing its.
Unknown caller.
Wow, they're really picking up today. Hello? Hello? Nothing. Now, I've had a few times where it was switch lanes, and it's just so close to the bumper of the car in front of me that really makes me nervous, but it has the clearance. And the angle of these cameras are different than my angle, and it can see a little bit better, but it makes my heart, skip a beat, wondering just what the car is doing, or if it's going to make it or not. Now the question is, will it get into this shopping center parking lot? It should be able to. I'll let it go up the route it chose. Of course, we're 0.8 miles away, 2 lights. We are coming up to a school zone, so a lot of this traffic is going to have to move to the right because we have a lot of people here or to the left, I mean, because a lot of people here to the right are waiting to pick up students to school. So let's see if the car will follow suit and change lanes with all these other cars, since this truck is stopping. We do have a lot of traffic coming up behind us, so it's going to have to wait for an opening. That truck made it past me. My car is still not signaling yet. And I'm just giving it time to see when the car is going to actually decide to go. It's now deciding to go. It's waiting for this other car. It's looking for an opening. Could it go there? That Scion, come on, move it. Our truck is letting us in. Thank you very much. And I have not done anything. This is all the car. It did a very good job of handling that. I don't know. Those cubes, Nissan cubes, I don't know how they ever sold any of those. They just don't. They look funky. But then again, the Cybertruck. I mean, come on. Now, to help the car as much as possible, I put the drop pin exactly at a parking space that I like to use when I get to this location. So that should give it the best possible options to get into the parking lot and where it needs to be. And when we set the destination, it'd be nice, if we have options to say, hey, park. Find parking when we get there. Or go to the door, drop off. Especially for me doing Uber and Lyft, it'd be nice to be able to do that. To let the car know that I want to drop someone off at the front door. Okay, and it's going to wait for this car. And it's turning into this parking lot. Now, the parking space I normally like to use is taken. It is actually pulling into a parking space, but is on the line. That is a terrible parking job. I'm taking up 2 parking spaces. That is a fail for the parking, but it did pull in. I have to give it that. That's funny. It did come to a stop here. Okay, I'm going to disengage here and let me go and find a proper parking spot. But yeah, it took up 2 parking spaces. Too funny. Why do that? I don't know. I really don't know. Why? I want to go over here. So Let me choose this spot. Now that pickup truck is kind of so. I could have gone that one better, but we will stick with this one. That was kind of funny, though, that it was actually trying to park. And it did park at the very end, but it just not a good park. Anyway, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy. And I'll work on more videos, I guess.